I literally have a headache and I'm gonna film this video. Isn't that tragic for me? Oh my god. Hi. Myself together. Get myself together. This video is gonna be a video that I will post on YouTube. This headache cannot stop me. This headache. My name's Indigo. I have one other video on my channel about video games, and I will be coming out with more, starting with this one. Coming out. This hair, it's giving emo Peter Parker. Him. I lost my necklace. I lost my necklace in the ocean. Why am I speaking like this? We are going to get into some of my favorite video games. I think this will be a series because I have so many video games that I absolutely love so much, even though, let me tell you a quick history with the consoles I've had. I got a Wii. Obviously, it's not with us anymore. Then I had an Xbox 360 and it got the red ring of death, which sounds like a venereal disease. It was a 360, so that was years ago. And now I have nothing. So you may be wondering, Indigo, how could you have favorite video games when you haven't touched a video game console or any video games in years? To that I respond, Jacksepticeye and Markiplier. I am a connoisseur of watching other people play video games. So the first time I was introduced to it was in middle school, so I think I was 13. And I'm 21 now, I'm turning 22 next week. I've been watching other people play video games for a very long fucking time. I'm just gonna go through some of my favorite video games and maybe I'll do a part 2. Let's get started with the first one on. So it's funny, I watched Jack play this, and in the beginning, like his first video, he was like, I mean, like, you guys probably, like, you're watching this and you've like at least watched the other 3 and like know shit about Uncharted. No, I knew absolutely nothing about Uncharted. Uncharted 4 was my first introduction to the series. Great number to start at. Something that I noticed is the games that are fleshed out, that have like an actual story that's not like 10 minutes long that you can follow, are either horror games, exploring games, or those two mixed together. And I'm not a fan of horror, which this list is going to be a little interesting. I can't sit through a scary movie, but I can sit through a scary video game for some fucking reason. The exploring and the action. So this was like one of the first, I guess, video games, like series that I was introduced to, and I was very, very lucky because this is one of the best video games, period, in terms of graphics, in terms of like it's like a video game where you look around and you go, ooh, ah, because everything is so pretty. There's so much detail, and it's so funny because I forgot what year this video game came out, but then looking at like WWE 2K22 or 2K20 or whatever, and you're like, what the fuck? This Uncharted 4 came out this year, like a while before 2K whatever, and it's so good, and this is so shitty. I don't understand what the fuck happened. I was watching a video of somebody talking about Uncharted, and he brought up the small detail, which is not small, I think it's fucking huge, that like when you're swinging on to like certain bars, the bar, it bends like in real life. This small detail that is overlooked, that some people wouldn't even fucking think about, because you jumping on a bar and it bending is not relevant to the fucking story. But the fact that they added in time to do that made me just appreciate the game developers more, and it made me appreciate the game more, because it wasn't like, oh, we're just gonna fucking do this and whatever and like bullshit. It shows that they give a fuck, and it shows that they actually care, and it makes shit more realistic, which, speaking of shit.
How's the Malaysia job going, Nate?
Now, while this game, I mean, I don't know what your realistic is. Your realistic might be, you know, looking for a pirate's lost treasure. Some people do that, so it technically is realistic. But what made me give a fuck about this game was the grounded parts of the story. That is what the game does so well. It balances out these two things. It balances out the story of this guy running away from people trying to kill him, searching for a fucking long lost treasure, with like his wife, and lying to your wife, you dumb bitch. Actual feelings and things that a lot of people have been through, so it's not all just fully camp to where you're like playing the video game, you're like, bro, what the fuck am I watching? What is going on? So the first scene that actually made me like give a fuck, because I didn't know anything about the Uncharted games. I knew it literally absolutely zero, nothing. So the first thing that actually made me give a fuck was the scene with Elena, and they were playing Crash Bandicoot, and it felt like a movie that you could play. Like this Uncharted feels like a movie that you could play. And I feel like really good video games feel like movies that you are able to insert yourself in. If it wasn't for those scenes, if it wasn't for Nate lying to Elena and then Elena finding out, if it wasn't for the plot twist with the brother, the weight of finding the treasure in this game in general, I just wouldn't give a fuck. It wouldn't matter as much to me. It's also fun and it's funny. Like, it doesn't take itself seriously. Now going back and going back and watching all of the Uncharted games and watching like breakdowns of the Uncharted games, Nate is the same. And okay, he's the same in terms of the little dad jokes and shit that he makes, which is funny, and obviously the people that created the game know this, so they don't take themselves seriously in terms of that. But I want to compare Nate to Joey from Friends. Joey from Friends, obviously he is portrayed to be stupid. Dylan is in trouble. He did a 3-hour video talking about Friends, talked about the entire thing. I watched the whole fucking thing. Shout out to him. But he brought up a great point, which I agreed with, which was at the end, everybody is married, people have kids, people have jobs, and Joey, like, it seemed like he had nothing. And he was still the same Joey who's like, oh, I'm fucking stupid and I don't know anything. And it's like, you could have given him something, you know what I mean? So it's not like, I feel like Nate, like, yeah, like, yes, he's like fucking corny and he's like Marco Polo, but the relationship with his wife makes him seem like a real person. I'm a backseat gamer. So this is great for a backseat gamer. Once again, a movie you can play. I'm literally, just as me just watching a movie. There's a channel called Girlfriend Reviews, and I just want her to know that there are people like her. There are people like her that don't play the video games, that just sit down and watch it. I felt so seen when I first discovered her channel. But Uncharted is a fucking gold mine for backseat gamers. Unlike a Batman video game, I forgot the fucking game. I forgot which one it was. But oh my god, the fucking fight scenes are so goddamn repetitive. Holy fucking shit. Some of my favorite moments besides, you know, the Elena Crash Bandicoot scene was the clock tower, the big ass truck chasing you. I think that's what that game specifically, like, one of the most popular scenes is that entire car chase, which was fucking amazing. This is really specific, but in the beginning of the game, after the party where you're sneaking around from like rooftop to rooftop, I don't know why, but specifically the lighting and the graphics were really, really pretty there, so I really liked it. And also, shout out to Nadine. Listen. And the villain of this game, I don't even want to call him a villain. You are trespassing on his property. Like, he did buy that. You technically, you're the villain. Like, you're the one doing wrong. Like, Nadine has a right to be upset. You're murdering all her people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not really like a fucking Disney villain. It's like, well, no, you're also wrong. But we just happen to be through the point of view of Nate, and we've been on Nate's side. Nadine is great, and she's so muscular, and I love her.
Come on, wait. Elena, wait.
I don't get you.
Look, I wanted to tell you.
You know what? Enough.
No, I wanted to, but how could I?
I don't know. Just say it.
I had to protect you.
That is bullshit, Nate. You just didn't have the nerve to face me again.
I knew you would react like this.
How would you react? You lied to me for weeks. If you were killed, I wouldn't have even known about it.
Assassin's Creed. All I have for this bullet point, is I like history. So the one that was set during the Bastille, I literally was like, oh my god, that's so fucking cool. Because that's super cool. I think there should be more video games where you're able to insert yourself in history, see what's going on. A lot of people don't really like those video games. I feel like if I didn't give a fuck about history, it wouldn't be as cool to me. But yeah, that's all I have for that. So next. Hitman.
You smell it? I had beans, and I think they were off. Sorry.
Fun turn your brain off game. Sometimes I don't want to fucking think peace. Sometimes I just want to see people go boom, boom, boom and sneak around and put on a chicken costume and get something and kill someone and get out. Like, it's really, like, pretty sure there is a Hitman movie. I don't know if it's good, but I feel like it would be hard to be very fucking bad. I know video game adaptations turned into movies don't really have a good track record, but I don't understand how you'd be able to make Hitman bad, because it's literally just a fucking action movie where you go around and fucking shoot things. You don't need to pay attention to the story. I've paid attention to the story and I'm still fucking confused. I really don't think most people pay attention to the story. They just fucking log on to the game and they fucking go and shoot people. And of course you could do the sneaky way, or you could just go in and start fucking murdering people and see how long you last. A great sentence I just said. Next we have the video about video games that I made was about The Last of Us, and I am going to do a video talking about the actual show because I have some shit to say about the ending. I thought the second one was great. I know people get their little panties in a bunch and like freak the fuck out about that, but this is about the first one, okay? So I've never really been a huge fan of like zombie shit, you know what well, not zombie shit. Do zombies shit? And obviously there's an oversaturation of zombies. Also sometimes I forget, like, they don't call the creatures zombies, so sometimes I forget like they are technically zombies. But once again, and then from the creators of Uncharted, so hello, like the story is fucking amazing. Like, it's just, once again, it feels like a movie. It feels like a TV show. It's so good. And I like how Joel isn't 100% like amazing, like fucking Captain America guy. And I want more characters that have done good things and bad things. I don't want someone that's perfect. Next we have you see, I come into things late. Resident Evil 7 was my first introduction to the Resident Evil series. It is, I was gonna say it's one of my favorite video games. That's why it's on the list. If I were to rank this, Resident Evil would be, I think it would be Uncharted 4 and then Resident Evil 7. It's so weird and camp. I'm not gonna lie to you, I still don't understand the story of the meta mice. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm just here for the vibes, truly. I wouldn't have gotten Mia. And it wasn't even Mia. She was gone for like 3 years, bro. Like, what? Anyway, it's just camp. All these Resident Evil video games and the movies, bitch. Oh my god. Like I said about Uncharted 4, how like, yeah, like it has like a bunch of crazy shit going on, but like it balances it out. Resident Evil 7 is not balanced out at all. Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 8, it's just not balanced. So don't expect that. It's camp. It is Carly Kloss Met Gala, and you're either gonna fucking love it or you're not gonna like it, but don't come complaining to me because I will be sitting and watching. Next we have I literally had a friend send me screenshots of him playing the game because the graphics were so pretty. I do specifically remember though in the Miles Morales one on the train, and that was just the loading screen. His headphones, fingerprints on his headphones. What the fuck? I remember the ending for the first Spider-Man video game that came out. I cried, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. And oh yeah, just the best graphics I've ever seen in my fucking life. Five Nights at I will be seated for the fucking movie, pushing these 5-year-olds and 10-year-olds out the way, kicking. That movie has Markiplier to thank. 100%. It's absolute fucking lootly Markiplier. I hope he gets like residuals or some shit, which I know he doesn't give a fuck about, but he should be getting paid. It's so simple to its core, but the fact that there are so many fan-made games that are so fucking good. That FNAF story is one of the only things that like, it doesn't scare me. It makes me fucking uncomfortable. If I'm going to like lore, watching YouTube videos on FNAF lore, I can't binge watch it because I physically get uncomfortable and I feel fucking weird, you know, because you're like chopping up children. Listen, I don't like kids that much, but I'm not gonna do that. It's like a fucking, you're just gonna keep going down and down and down into the lore. So simple, yet effective. PT. I'm sad. I guess technically we kind of got it, or we're getting it or something, but like the loops you have to go through, you have to buy a used console that this game is already on because they don't sell. I wanted to go into like why they stopped production on this, because I love this game. Once again, it is so simple. You don't have to be doing 80,000 things. It's simple. You just keep walking through a fucking hallway and then you see a weird baby fetus. Please somebody tell me below if like there's development or some shit going on. I really don't know why they stopped the game. It's just so fucking weird and creepy and scary, and they need, please, I need the full game, please. Yeah, that was it. I'm sweaty, so I'm gonna go. What? Comment below your favorite video game, gamers.